forget how horses don't now.
Hello everyone, my name is Marcelo X, aka Lawrence Simpson. I'd like to say that you have been watching the Keith Andrew Network. He is doing a fantastic job for the people who wish to explore the limits of their creativities, even though learning disabilities may be really feeling like that. They may feel that they're being closeted by it, but they shouldn't. They should strive for doing what they believe in, and like Keith has, our good sir, he's been able to excel. So I thoroughly support the Keith Andrew Network.
Hi, I'm Anna.kaskeeva. I'm an actress. I'm here to support Keith Andrew. I think he's doing a fantastic job. Really looking for inviting people to interview and just talking about different things. So today we're going to be talking about some stuff, and I'm going to be very feisty about women's rights and other cultures' rights and stuff like that, because I'm very passionate about that, and I'm going to be fighting about that. And we're going to be talking about anime and like Dragon Balls and stuff, and you would not believe how much stuff we can put in there, how much we can discuss.
You don't have to run.
Today, I'm here as Mr. Warrens, and Anna, two fantastic voiceover actors in their own rights. They have accomplished so much in their careers. Having both of you on the show, it's an honor and privilege. And what's pertinent now, for people who want to know why I have two people on the show, is single interviews kind of get boring after a while, especially when you have ADD. So I like things constantly moving. And I've been shaking up the Keith Andrew Network. I want to do double interviews, group interviews. And the reason for that is when I do speaking engagements, I have practice talking to multiple people. So I hate the expression, killing two birds with one stone. It's a horrible, horrible expression. But with that being said, Lawrence, I'm going to start off with you. How you been? It's great to see you again, 1 year follow-up. How's UK during this whole COVID-19?
Well, it's really good to be here, Keith. Well, things have been slowly getting some kind of control. The vaccine's now being rolled out amongst our peers. We've just been trying to muddle through, really. Fortunately, I work from home, and my wife, who is a teacher, has recently been instructed to work from home as well. So we're both staying safe here, and we are just doing our best to be responsible, wash our hands, social distance, and generally just, keep going. It's like the British spirit in a way, in that we just want to just keep fighting and just, carry on as best as we can, as the phrase goes, keep calm and carry on.
No, absolutely. What about you, Anna?
I would say it's like up and down. Like in the beginning, we were all like, what are we gonna do now? Everything is closed. But turns out it's just not everybody cares. Just simply as that. Some people are just like, oh, whatever, we're just gonna keep doing stuff because the world's not stopping. Just gonna do whatever we can. And I know right now there's a lot of like Zoom stuff, like even freaking on television. That's insane. Everybody's adapting. Like if there is a will, there is a way,
It's funny you should mention that. That's if you don't know, me and Lawrence are huge diehard fans of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, really?
And there's a part in this, I think it was like the Cell Saga, where Goku says, if there's a will, there's a way.
You have no idea. I actually watching Dragon Ball Z right now. I finished like the original thing, and I finished some of the movies. And I have two dogs, and their names are Bulma and Chichi.
Oh, that's sweet.
So, can you be any more fan of Dragon Ball than me?
I would say that's certainly a very, very good way of displaying your hype for the show.
I know, right?
And you're going to love this part. We actually have Goku and Gohan on the show. Can you guess one of us, out of two of us, that is?
Which one of you is Goku? Which one of you is Gohan? I would say Lauren probably Goku because he has lighter hair. Because right now, when I'm watching, Goku just became a Super Saiyan, so he has white hair and stuff like that. And since Keith is dark hair, I would say he's Gohan, the little one.
Well, basically in the series Dragon Ball Z Abridged, which is basically Dragon Ball, but really, really, really small, I voiced Goku in that.
Oh,
So if you want to
cool.
check out Team 4-Star, Dragon Ball Z Abridged. So if you want to catch up on Dragon Ball very quickly, then you can look for that on YouTube, Team 4-Star.
Cool.
No, absolutely. Team 4-Star is one of my favorites. I wish you guys continued. It did super, but we can get to that in a little bit. But I saw your recent ones. What if Frieza becomes good? I thought that was really fantastic.
Yes, of course. That story is probably one of my favorites. And recently I compiled it into what was 12 parts, a 12-part video, into one 3-hour-long video. So that means people who may not have had time to catch the individual parts, because there was one every month, can now just watch the whole thing, or they can bookmark it, check out different chapters that they may not remember, and just generally just have a look at the idea about what might have happened if Frieza actually became a good guy, and whether it was possible. And in theory, potentially.
You just scared me because I was like, in my vision, Goku just beat him. Like, what? Frieza is like now a good guy. Like, because I know like everybody's getting become good, and I'm like, what? It's like, is this a spoiler alert? What the heck?
Oh no, don't worry. It is a very common trope. It's a very common trope in Dragon Ball for the bad guys to turn good because Goku wants to fight them again. But no, I do a channel where I do loads of kind of thought experiments about what if certain things happened that didn't in the original show.
Okay.
So let's say Frieza actually decided to go, wait, Goku, I am wrong. You are right. I have learnt the error of my ways. Come to my ship and I'll let you escape with me. And then tricks him, and then it all goes wrong. And then it's all about redemption and discovery.
No, absolutely. You didn't couple over. You can do that with anyone. I don't know if you know. It's gonna sound like an oxymoron. I do apologize. Sludge Stick, or I think it was, where he did. What if Goku and Vegeta go back in time and they save Planet Vegeta, and then he went back in time and trained Gohan and saved Gohan from being killed. You know the one I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, Smugstick. I recently did a charity live stream with himself, Salad Saiyan, and Kazu's Dojo. We're all a really collective of Dragon Ball What If YouTubers, and we did a stream for Toys for Tots, which was orchestrated by Kathu himself, and we managed to raise about $2,500 for charity, just talking about geeky Dragon Ball scenarios that might have happened, and just having a nice time talking about it over about 2 hours. So we managed to do a lot of good. Toys for Tots is indeed a really good cause.
Oh, absolutely. And I want this episode to be very special. Was there anything you guys wanted to talk about, promote? We're on the way to the holidays. I know off the air, you've gone through a lot of things. I told you my dog passed away, and I'm still, the reason I don't want to do my talk show is, I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Owen Hart, it's one of his good friends, Brian Pillman. And when Brian Pillman passed away, he asked what happened. And then he said, he died. He tied up his wrestling boots and he just went out and go to work. And my dad said to me, he said, if he sits down and starts thinking about it, he's got to be a mess. So for me, I have to do my talk show. I have to get my mind off it, just not forget about it, but somehow working is kind of like therapy, it helps you handle it to a certain extent, if that makes any sense.
Right.
I think it's just the distraction from the tragedy, and you just try to go back to life because you kind of feel guilty that you have to go back to life, like back to normal, and you shouldn't, but you should. Because life doesn't stop, and I know exactly what it means. It's like my dogs are everything to me. Absolutely. Like for me, like if my dog passes away, it would be for me more tragic than a human. I'm like, I don't care about you, man. You know?
It's like there's a joke saying when you adopt a pet, you're also adopting a small tragedy.
Yeah.
Mm.
I always say like dogs are magical fairy tale creatures that came to life to save us all here. You
Mm.
know? I'm like looking at them
Yeah.
like, you're unreal. You can't be like real thing. You're
I mean,
unreal. You're like little toys that came to life and they're like, hey, I'm here. Throw me a ball.
yeah. No, my wife's more of the dog person. I had cats, and part of the us living together was to get a dog. And we, after having 2 years without a dog, we managed to finally find a bearded collie, and we've now. This is my first dog ever, so I now have a dog, and I've never raised a dog before, and now she's 8 months old. She's really sweet,
Oh.
bouncy. She jumps up at people a little much, but she wants to be friends. So she's definitely a very nice sweetheart, and definitely something that I'm really, really thrilled about. That she's turned into a lovely little lady.
Oh. No, I love cats too. I love all animals. I think they're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
amazing.
Now, as does my wife too, because
Yeah.
she's a does zoology as well as teach biology. So she very much likes her animals, especially birds.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
thanks.
Yeah, I
Mm.
used to have parakeets and I had a cat and now I have dogs. So it's like, and I'm saying like, I never thought I'm going to have a dog. So now I have two.
Yeah, no, same, same.
I
Like they
actually
come into my life and I'm like, okay, come in.
I actually
What
came
can I
up with
do about
funny
that?
questions. But you know what? I was actually thinking, why not do a special episode? I know you're probably gonna kill me, Lawrence, for doing this, but because you have two diehard Dragon Ball Z fans here, and the three of us are diehard fans, let's make this a Dragon Ball episode.
Okay.
So the first one I want to ask you is, recently I saw you were doing What If Videl began, and you get to see this later on in the series. What if Videl became a Z fighter? And I was
Mhm.
thinking, what if all the women in there had their own team? I mean, Chi Chi, Boma, Videl, 18. In the video games, you get to play as Videl and 18. But what about Chi Chi? What about Boma? Wouldn't it be really cool if you get to play as them as characters?
Yeah, I mean the thing is though, with my fan series Dragon Ball R&R, in the next episode we plan on tackling that of having Chi-Chi and Launch fighting together. And basically because the premise being from our special mini-sode is that the main guys are compromised, as in their ki is completely taken away from them. The only way they can fight. And the only chance that they can survive is with Chi-Chi and Launch stepping in, as well as some help from Bulma as well. The three of them working together to save the day. So that's what I'm doing with my latest fan series in the next episode. So I am doing just that.
I actually really angry, like because I watched the whole Dragon Ball, the first thing, like the original Dragon Ball. That's like I really, really loved it. And now I'm watching Dragon Ball Z, and I'm actually getting really offended by the fact that the girls are getting smaller and smaller parts in these things, and
Yeah.
they're just, and not just that, they're just completely useless and just the point just to have fun of them. Like Bulma is freaking on the different planet alone and she's like getting in trouble and she's trying to self it, and it's just like the whole laugh, like Goku and everybody's fighting freaking 5-year-old Gohan saving the world, and Bulma
Yeah.
who's what 25 or so
Hmm.
just screaming and complaining that she doesn't have a sun lotion or whatever. And I'm like, seriously, that's your representation of women?
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, at the same time, though, Bulma in the original Dragon Ball was actually really quite ahead of her time. But at the same time,
There is so much sexual harassment against Bulma in the first Dragon Ball. That is like unbelievable.
I know but that is again very much to do with Japanese culture, and it is completely. It doesn't age well. Let's just say
I
that, and
know. I'm like,
it's a
oh.
bit much. but also at the same time in Japan at the time of the 90s is like housewife comedy.
I know, and I'm
It
like,
doesn't work.
she is 15 according to, like, if you watch it, she's at that time she's 15 years old, and freaking
Well,
old as heck. Master Roshi sexually harassing her all the freaking time. She's 15, man.
it was 1984 when the manga came out, so it was very different back then. So
I
it's
know, but
it's
it's like,
important to remember that. It's not
Mhm.
it's not cool. It's really
It's not
awkward.
cool at all.
But when you put that all aside though, when you look at Bomber when she's not in those situations, she's an accomplished engineer who is vital to the plot, because if Goku and Bulma never met, then the world would have been doomed by Emperor Pilaf, and then Raditz would have shown up and then
And
sold
not
the
only,
planet to Frieza.
yeah, but not only that, like, if Bulma didn't invent the freaking Dragon Raider,
Yeah, of course. She invented a lot of things.
she freaking
Capsules.
invented the whole thing. And in an original Dragon Balls, it never say that she invented it. She's just like, she has it.
Well,
And only in Dragon
she
Ball
did.
Z, you realize that she actually created it.
No,
She
she did.
freaking made it. At
Yeah,
15, she's a freaking genius.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look in Dragon Ball Super, she's piloting ships at the age of 5. When in a flashback, she's a smart cookie. She really is. Chi-Chi as well. I mean, with Chi-Chi, it was because Toriyama is best known for writing the hothead girl like Launch. Launch is very much the kind of female character that Toriyama knows how to do. He tried with Chi-Chi in the original Dragon Ball to write this demure wayfish character, very, very timid, very, very shy. But then that doesn't, he admits that didn't sit well with him. That's why when Chi-Chi comes back grown up, she's feisty, loud, and aggressive. And that's the only kind of character he knows how to write. And he openly admits that I'm done with Chi-Chi. I'm not really going to do much left with her. And also, I don't know how to write romance. And it's like,
Exactly.
can
Like,
you
I can see
learn?
that. For me,
Can
it's
you
like,
learn?
yeah, for me, it was like very offensive. Like, there's so many like plot holes. Like, at least like at the point where I'm watching right now, like Chi-Chi and Bulma's characters like change so much.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just not going in any good direction. They just like suddenly from one episode to another, just like the whole, like, first time they go into this tsunami, like Bulma was fine, and then suddenly she's in a bad mood. There is no reason for that. They could never explain it later why she's in a bad mood. It's just suddenly she's mad at everybody. And I'm like, what is happening? Why is that happening? Chi-Chi is the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
I understand her mother being protective. I understand like all of these things. But there are like so many times when she's just unreasonable. And it never explains it. And it's like, what the heck?
You sort
Like,
of understand it when you get older.
Suddenly she doesn't care about Goku at all. Like, he's in a hospital, he's almost died to save the planet, and she's like, I don't care, Gohan didn't study his math. Like, what?
It's very, very weird. And
Exactly, this just plot
yeah.
holes.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. You know, I found it very interesting. I was watching He-Man recently, and I saw it in the beginning, and it didn't dawn on me. Then I saw it again. It's like, hey, I didn't know He-Man was made by Funimation. So I tried an experiment. What if I'm trying to get Bruce Falco on the show? I use his music for everything, for Batman, for Superman, for any action scenes, and it's absolutely amazing. You can put the Ginyu Force song to like the Lord of the Rings when they're the Two Towers when they're fighting. It fits. So I was like, okay, Dragon Ball was made by Funimation, and so was He-Man. So I put He-Man music was Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball music was He-Man, and I'm like, holy crap, it fits. It makes it so much better. It's really amazing.
It's just, for me, actually, the He-Man, not the He-Man, but his sister, She-Ra, it's like, for me, I remember when I was a kid and I watched it for the first time, for me, that was the revelation of women empowerment. There is this girl who is lied to the core what she can and cannot do, who she is and who she cannot be, and then suddenly she's everything she want to be. She's a fighter, she's everything. It literally was for me the revelation. For me, it was after that, it was Sailor Moon and all this stuff. I'm the biggest fan of Sailor Moon you can find. I've read and seen everything.
In Dragon Ball, you can do the same thing with Bulma, Chi-Chi, Android, and Pain. You can actually do a spin-off where they can be an inspiration and role models for young girls out there.
Yeah, of course. That's what I try and do with my fan series R&R. I have Ranch, the daughter of Raditz and Launch, and she acts like a good role model for, you know, female characters in Dragon Ball. You know, she acts like a good foil to Trunks, and when she's older, she's not like this timid, waifish little character. No, she's a proper brick house, as in like 6 foot tall, muscular. If you're familiar with the anime Dorohedoro, there's a character called Noin. She's silver hair, long hair, 7 foot tall, built like a tank. And it's just like, wow, that is strong and elegant. And that's just like a perfect bastion of strength, but also femininity in the best way. And that's what I try and do with my characters. Provide them a good atmosphere, give them a good platform, not rub it in people's faces about what I try to do with them. Let them be characters. Let them play off of each other. So instead, and it's a good testimony, because with the merch that I'm able to make from her, people who buy it, they have these images and pictures and posters of Vegeta, Goku on their walls. And then there's Ranches there too. And I'm like, that's a big deal that you can make a character like that. And they're up there along with these classic Dragon Ball characters. There's an impact made, and you're not doing it in a way which seems forced or that it's made by committee. It's all about just understanding and just taking on board different people and, you know, how people should be perceived, and just be natural. Don't try and do things by the numbers.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, I freaking love Lunch. I love the fact that she doesn't let anybody to walk over her, and everybody's scared of her. I freaking love that. Freaking Master Roshi, who is the biggest pervert and the best teacher in the world, he is terrified of her and her cooking and everything. And she owns it. She's like, I don't care.
Yeah, but at the same time, she doesn't stay that way the whole time. She does mellow out a little bit, but it just, it shows characters
both
can
of her
grow and
personalities evolve, and I like it. Like in the beginning,
yeah.
like the shy character is getting like braver. She's like, oh, we're actually going somewhere. Okay, I'm not gonna be scared. And her like angry character, she is like, she's freaking in love with Tian.
Yeah, it's just a shame that Tien doesn't give it back.
I know.
True.
Who does he think he is? 3-eyed man?
I give you a little spoiler.
See anything with these 3 eyes?
I give you a little spoiler that Lance does come back later on, but as an alcoholic. Go figure.
And so they got cast in this thing. They go through the huge process of getting cast. They're making the movie, they're investing everything in it. And at the end of the day, what do they get? Minimum wage in their country?
Yes.
Because nobody ever remembers anything about them. They don't even know who they are. And the same thing with the director and the scriptwriter. Like, what?
Yes, of course. That's why it's important for film colleges and for these kind of courses to study proper different cultures. Like when I was in college, I studied Bollywood, so Indian cinema. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I watched tons of Bollywood movies.
There are hard set rules. The soundtrack is released in advance. That means the audience know the song, so they can sing along. Which is fantastic. They always are 4 hours long. There has to be at least 6 songs in there, and they are formulaic, but you don't care. They are some really good ones. My favorite one being Kuch Kuch Hota Hai with Shah Rukh Khan. That was one of my favorites, and I love the fact that, and also in Indian cinema, they make fun of the British so hard. And there's one scene where the Union Jack is being like really ripped apart, and I'm like, I'm not bothered. I get it. I understand the sentiments towards the flag. It's just, I get it. I get the humor. I get the localized humor. It's like, it's just a really fun film. It's sweet. It's fluff, but it's sweet. It's a really nice little romance story.
As far as I know, like as many as Bollywood movies I've seen, they're all very sweet. They're all about like being nice and kind and love and
yeah.
And in some movies, they're not kissing at all, even though it's about love. They're just hugging. I think it's so cute.
It's just a relationship.
I don't know if it's like is it religion or like country laws or whatever. At some point they were passed there, but I'm like, okay, because like there is like a scene, the guy is running towards the girl. They realize they love each other. They're supposed to kiss, but they just hug.
Yeah, but sometimes that's enough, just to show that they're happy to see each other, and it's simpler and it's wholesome. So,
but I agree with that, but what I disagree about is the fact that only film students more or less know about it. I think it should be like Wild Despair. I think it should be shown on TV, you know, so people can watch it just as much as they can watch like American superhero movies or like any other movie. Why? I don't understand. I know for some reason Americans have trouble with watching people with subtitles or dubbed. They're like, if they dub, they're like, oh, the lips don't match what they're saying. So what?
No, I agree. Now we're going over the limit, and Zoom is about to kick us off because I don't pay for the full version. But it was a real honor and privilege having you both of you on the show, and I'm looking forward to part 3 down the road. I just want to say thank you very much.
Hi, it's Mimi Chen.
Hi, my name is Ellen George.
I'm Shauna Todd.
Hey guys, I'm Anastasia Edwards.
Hi, this is Jackie Nunez.
Hi, I'm Millie Rose.
Hey guys, I'm Alexandria Denise, and you're watching Keith Andrews Show. He's doing a terrific job. Make sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more awesome.